Here are some of the most mind-numbingly complex, everyday things that seem like magic but can be easily explained. Number 1. How does Wi-Fi work? Well, at some point in our lives, we have all wondered about the glorious powers of Wi-Fi. How does a small, square-shaped router allow everyone to browse the internet and play online games with such ease? It's not like we can see wires coming out of the Wi-Fi and directly connecting to our devices. Our brains just have a hard time understanding something that we cannot even see. For the most part, Wi-Fi seems like a powerful spell from the world of Harry Potter, but there is no need to let your imagination run wild. There is actually a pretty simple explanation for the way Wi-Fi works. You see, Wi-Fi primarily makes use of radio waves to transmit data between different devices. Your home Wi-Fi, for example, serves as a bridge which connects your phone to data that is present all around us. If this is still hard to understand, then think about what happens when you call an internet service provider. They will make sure that your house is connected to a fiber optic cable before they install the router itself. The Wi-Fi then picks up the data from these cables and transmits them over radio waves to your device. Sure, we can't see the data itself flying around in the air, but the different frequencies of the waves make sure that our internet is working. Number 2. Do credit cards actually work? Credit cards are another one of those whimsical inventions that make life easy, but we never really question how they work. Imagine using a simple plastic card to buy the latest iPhone or the new PS5 without actually having money. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. You see, credit cards allow you to make purchases even if you have no money, but that does not mean that you are getting the product for free. Every time you use your credit card, you are basically taking out a loan from the bank. When the store uses your credit card, the system first checks in with the bank to make sure that you are qualified to use the card. Once you are done buying whatever you want, the bank will send you a bill at the end of the month. Failure to pay this bill will result in a hefty interest on top of the amount that you already own. At this point, you are probably thinking that credit cards sound like something that people could easily exploit, but don't get any bright ideas. Applying for a credit card is difficult because the bank checks your credit score and whether you are able to pay on time. And even after a lengthy procedure, you can still end up in jail for credit card fraud. The best thing to do is make sure you pay your credit card bills on time. It's good to remember that you aren't buying things for free, you are borrowing from the bank. And the bank will hunt you down if you fail to pay back. Number 3, being left-handed. It must be pretty tough being left-handed in a right-handed world. Our entire planet is specifically designed to cater to people who use their right hand. So it might be a head-scratcher why some people are left-handed. Well, this isn't a choice that people make. Our brains have two sides, the right and the left. Most people primarily use the left side of the brain, which makes them right-handed. However, people who primarily use the right side of their brain end up being left-handed. Simple as that. Number 4, how do planes fly? The miracle of flight is something that still amazes us because it just seems so impossible. Our brains can really only comprehend birds flying through the air. So the thought of a giant hunk of metal full of people, luggage, and heavy machine parts seems pretty incredible. Here's what's going on. Much like the body of a bird that is designed for flight, planes are built in a similar manner. First of all, the metal used for planes is aluminum alloys, which have remarkable strength while also weighing less. The wings of a plane are also curved to provide proper lift when an airplane is about to take off. These curves create high pressure at the bottom and low pressure on the top, which the plane takes advantage of in order to rise up into the air. The heavy, intimidating-looking engines also provide thrust and speed, which is needed for a plane to move forward. The concept of airplanes may still sound mind-boggling, but it really is all about physics and power. And the design elements are like the final cherry on top, bringing it all together. Number 5, why do we dream? Imagine this, you tuck in for the night and start drifting into a blissful sleep. As your body slips away, your mind goes quiet as well. All of a sudden, you see yourself in your 5th grade classroom. You feel a sense of panic because you missed your final exam. Your teacher then walks in, but she is also the girl you were dating in college. Then the entire scenery changes, and somehow you are sitting in your living room that is located in the middle of a mall you used to visit as a child. If this is relatable, don't be afraid. You are not going insane. You just had a regular dream. Dreams usually occur when our sleep enters the REM, rapid eye movement, state. During this stage, our bodies are asleep, but our mind is still wide awake, which causes our eyes to move back and forth, even when they are closed. Most dreams happen in the REM state, but they can also happen outside of it. What's happening here is that our brain functions like a mad scientist who is trying to test out different scenarios or make sense of past events or traumas. Our dreams are a collection of everything and everyone we have ever known in our lives. Even characters from a show that you have binge-watched can make it in your dreams because your brain uses the content for its experimental scenarios. We don't really know why humans dream, but the running theory is that the brain is just trying to process information or memories while the body is asleep. And since the logical part of our brains is closed off during this time, the brain just runs wild with different scenarios. This is why you have fearful dreams about standing on the edge of a tall building, or why you have dreams about someone chasing you. These events won't really harm you, but our brain isn't really acting logically. Instead, it chooses to run sadistic experiments, and you are the test subject. Number 6. What even is a black hole? You are probably one of those people who watched Interstellar 1,000 times but still failed to understand what exactly is a black hole. Don't worry, because this is a pretty dense topic and we're going to break it down for you. Black holes are basically formed when massive stars collapse due to their gravity. Imagine a star that is so fat that it can no longer sustain itself and it runs out of fuel. So it ends up collapsing into its own gravity. What follows is a huge explosion and the formation of a dense core which turns into a black hole. The center of the black hole is what causes this massive structure to have a warped space and time. Black holes are so dense they end up absorbing everything around them. There is a common misconception that black holes will teleport you to another world. That is not true. If you were to enter the event horizon of a black hole, you would become warped and crushed by the density of the core. The gravity within a black hole is just so strong that it doesn't even let light escape. Number 7. Do microwaves really cook food? Anything that gets done with the help of invisible rays is always going to be a conundrum for most human beings. When we can't see what's going on, we jump to absurd conclusions. Maybe microwaves have tiny little chefs inside of them, cooking and heating the food. There is no need to use your imagination for this one, because microwaves are pretty simple. Every microwave comes equipped with a device known as a magnetron. This device generates electromagnetic waves known as microwaves. These waves bounce around inside the small metal chamber and cause water molecules in the food to vibrate and heat up, which in turn causes the food to cook. This is why sometimes your food can end up dry after being placed in a microwave, because all the water molecules heated up and dried out. The reason why forks should not be placed inside microwaves is because they can reflect the waves in the metal chamber, causing a fire. And the funny little turntable that gives you a good show while you wait for the food, yeah, that thing helps to evenly spread the waves. However, because microwaves are not that big, your food ends up hot on the outside but super cold on the inside. Number 8, the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm is like a scary ex, always keeping an eye on what you watch, for how long and whether you liked it or not. While this may sound terrifying, this is the reason behind all those prank videos that you get recommended after watching one prank compilation. At first, it will freak you out how often YouTube gives you tailor-made suggestions. All it takes is one wrong move, and soon your profile is filled with weird videos you never asked for. The horrors never end, but there is nothing to be scared of. The YouTube algorithm is simply making note of your preferences and trying to curate your profile to match your taste. It is constantly keeping track of the types of topics you enjoy and even your preferred video length. If you watch a 2-hour-long video essay, then YouTube will recommend longer video essays. If you enjoy streamers playing video games, then YouTube will have 10 more suggestions for you. Sometimes YouTube even suggests niche videos that are 10 years old. These videos pop up in your feed every now and then and quickly disappear. The more you search and watch, the more YouTube is being fed information about your watching habits. Soon the algorithm turns into an all-seeing eye. Some suggestions work out great, while others leave you traumatized. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to be notified of any latest uploads. That said, see you in the next one.